Hello everybody and welcome back to SkySaga Alpha 10 for this, the final episode. So, as some of you know, the server is shutting down, the alpha server is shutting down, but that's actually a good thing because it means we are getting the beta, and the beta is coming very, very soon. So this is just going to be a very, very quick little episode. It is going to be a farewell to SkySaga Alpha 10, sorry. It's going to be a farewell to SkySaga Alpha in general, I guess I should say, because this is it. This is the end of the alpha. Honestly, I didn't think it was coming this soon, but it's kind of good. I'm excited for the beta. I'm very, very excited to see what we get when we get to beta and how the game changes and what stays the same and all that kind of stuff, and also to see more of you guys out there coming and playing SkySaga, because of course once the beta goes live it is going to be an open beta and you'll be able to just join in at any time you like rather than having to get a key to get access to the game. So anyway, today we're just going to have a bit of a look around. I am going to go through a couple of little bits and pieces about what is actually coming, what we know and what we don't know. It's a pretty short list because what we don't know is a lot. But the things we do know and the best things that you can be doing in your last couple of days, just so that you have the best chance of things actually going your way and maybe having some stuff, but not a lot of stuff, move across to Alpha 10. Not to Alpha 10, to Beta 1. So from what we know, there is going to be a wipe. There is going to be a wipe, which means that all of your character progression, so all of your levels and anything that you have in chests is definitely going to be wiped out. Any of your gear, anything that's kind of just sitting around, anything that's sitting on the ground, definitely 100% going to be wiped. So that all of that stuff is gone. Basically, there's nothing we can really do about it. That is the nature of wipes, and that's the wipes that have happened so far have all had that same thing happen to them. So everything that everything that you've earned has been wiped. However, in the last couple of alpha phases or the last couple of alpha wipes, published islands have been saved, and that is how we have a look at my islands. I have a whole bunch of islands here. I did not buy this alpha, and some of these I haven't even worked on this alpha. So all of these are just because, I got a reward for something. I'm going to quickly claim that on camera here. But so a lot of these have been saved over from previous alphas. Now, the devs have not said whether or not we're actually going to keep these islands. Like, there is absolutely no guarantee that the islands that you have published are going to make it through into the next alpha or into beta. I keep saying next alpha, but it's better than that. We are going bigger than that. So there is no guarantee. There is no way of knowing whether or not these things are going to be saved, and the devs aren't going to tell us. They're just not. We're not going to know, because lots and lots of things could change between now and the beta release. So all we can do is publish as many islands as we want to save and hope that everything goes our way and works in our favor. So personally, what I would suggest is you're going to be able to keep anything placed on the island. So that's all of your decor and blocks. This is of course if the islands get saved, which is a big thing. So if the islands get saved, you will keep any of the blocks that you've placed down and any of the not any of the recipes, but any of the actual decor items that you've placed down. So if you have anything in particular that you really do want to keep, so I'm going to be placing down stuff like midwinter trees and decor that I've got from previous alphas that I'm not sure exists anymore, stuff like that. I'm going to be placing all of that stuff down on islands, and I'm going to be republishing them between now and Thursday. I'm not going to do that on camera. I was thinking about doing that on camera, but honestly, I kind of just want to make this one a little bit of a short, sweet episode. Just a bit of a final farewell here to SkySaga Alpha. It has been great fun, and it is an amazing game. So like I said, I am really just keen to see what happens as we go through into beta. Also, there is going to be a gap in the channel as we go through into beta. I'm pretty sure at this point in time I'm going to fill that gap by doing some SkySaga 3D printing. So I've been going through and taking photos of a bunch of different SkySaga items and objects, and from there I'm hopefully going to use those to 3D model some really cool stuff and hopefully print it out. We'll see how all of that goes. I have a rather large form 3D printer coming in the next few weeks, so I might even actually be able to make a life-size model of these pickaxes, which will be really cool. Because one thing that is kind of interesting, these pickaxes are basically as tall as the player is, which means that they are like 1.5, 1.6, 1.8, somewhere in that range, meters tall. So they are ginormous pickaxes. So I'll start with a small version of the pickaxes, I think, and then once we've done a small version, of course, we'll scale up to an absolutely massive version. Anyway, so I think what we're going to do is I'm going to do a quick little tour of some of my islands. Realistically, the one that I really want to show you guys and show off and have a record of is actually just the Wastelands. Everything else here has been around for a little while, or I've done some stuff with. The one that I'm the happiest with and I love the most is the Wastelands. So we're going to head over there and have a look. So here we go in the Wastelands. Now the Wastelands, for those of you who haven't seen this, was built to mimic an adventure. It was built to mimic a biome and to kind of be a fake biome, I guess. It was to be the Wastelands, which was its own thing. So we started off in a little kind of enclosed underground area with a little like landing pad. And then, as you can see from here, we come out to a adventure type world. So this adventure type world is obviously, like I said, the Wastelands, and it is just absolutely chock full of gravel. I've also added in a few little bits and pieces that make it more like a regular adventure. So stuff like this guy down here, which if we kind of fly on down, you'll see we have a nice little waterway and we have a golden chest. So these are the glorious caches that you can find out and about in most adventure worlds. We'll have one of those. They're kind of a landmark that's not really a landmark. It has some extra little goodies in it. Obviously this one doesn't, it's just a chest, because of course I can't make that accessible to people, which is unfortunate. But yeah, so we've also kind of built canyons and valleys and a hill over there and all that kind of stuff. It is a little bit of a sloped adventure, I guess. But we've also got some side locations. So we had this guy, which was the Bone Cave. And I was planning on adding a bear down in the bottom of here, but I never actually got around to it. So if all of this stuff does survive to beta, then we'll put a bear in there, I think. And I'll put in some stuff that means that the bear only spawns one time. Next up, we had the second landmark over here, which is the destroyed tower. So I think my favorite thing about this is that there was a floating island where I wanted to build this destroyed tower. So I just built it into the tower and made it look as though this floating island is kind of like catapulted itself into the building and got stuck. There's lots of little like broken rocks and kind of, these things are called airship wreckage, but I was trying to use them to be like broken wood and bits and pieces. So yeah, I think this has actually come out pretty well. It turned out a little bit better than I was expecting it to, and it worked a lot better than when I first kind of went, oh damn, this island is going to be in the way of the tower that I want to build up. So of course, going on from there, we also have an actual just normal cave system. So this is just a regular old cave system. The only problem is I didn't have any natural brown stone out here, so I couldn't do anything with this. I just had to build it out of dirt and gravel. I would have liked to build this out of natural stone, like I said, but not being able to place that made that a little bit hard. And then yeah, we just got a nice little cave, a nice little gem cave at the end here. So that was kind of cool. A lot of this stuff, this got worked on a lot over the past 2 alphas, I think, maybe 3 alphas. It's been a while that I've been working on this. Continuing on around, I'm kind of avoiding the main location here because I want to show that off last, because that is like Now, because of the new update and because of magma blocks, it is like the best thing that I've ever done, I think. So this is the final secondary location. It's revealed by stepping on the destroyable blocks, and you'll come down here, and this is a little like smuggler's den. So we come in here, you can see there's some lumostone lamps and just a ton of barrels. There's chests and other bits and pieces in here, as you would expect for a normal adventure. Of course, a little like destroyed light that I kind of sort of tried to make look like it's fallen from the ceiling here. Not really sure if that's worked too well or not. And this thing also does like flash as if it's actually broken. Haven't been in here for a while, but I'm really happy with this place too. I had a bunch of barrels that I got from somewhere and decided I needed to use them up. So the Smuggler's Run was created as kind of a way to do that. And then also in the Smuggler's Run we have kind of a broken down living quarters for the smugglers. I really would have liked to see a bit more destroyed furniture, because I could have used that destroyed furniture really well in here to kind of create something a little bit interesting and a little bit different. And then finally we have a kind of storage area. So we just had bunches of shelves with pots and pans and grindstones and all sorts of bits and pieces in here that once again were just supposed to be for like the bandits to store things. And then the final like chest for the adventure, or this like side thing, was just down here. Yeah, so once again, this is one of those cool little builds that kind of it sprung up because I had all of those barrels, and I'm like, what am I going to do with hundreds of barrels? I know, I can build like a little Smuggler's Run. And then of course, to get out of here, I didn't want the exit to be obvious, so I built it into this little like windy cave thing, and then that drops out into this other cave. So this is the cave we were in just before. There's that little hole in the wall up there, and I even built another hole in the wall up here that doesn't actually go anywhere, to kind of throw people off and hope that they didn't jump up into that cave and go backwards through the smuggler's den. But of course, doing all of this, we have missed the biggest thing in this world, and of course the biggest thing in this world is the chasm. So the chasm is this guy right here. Check it out. Look at this thing with this magma blocks. It is absolutely beautiful, and I love this thing to pieces. It is amazing. Obviously I'm running down the magma, but this is not right. We shouldn't be doing this. We should actually go through the adventure proper, because there's a lot of stuff in this adventure. So this little location adventure section is supposed to be like a bandit fortress built across this like lava chasm. So in through here we have a nice little like blacksmithy area. Oh, I've left a brown block where I don't want a brown block, so we're going to remove that. Nice little blacksmithy area that they've crafted weapons and all that kind of stuff in, and then we go back out here. Have to cross the chasm, which is really cool. Love this chasm, it's so awesome. And once again we have another crafting area, so this is more of the like metalwork and stonework crafting. And then going further on down, we have a dining hall, a Wastelands dining hall, where the chairs and tables are made out of things that they could find, I guess. And then we also even have a little like kitchen in the back here, complete with meat barrels and all sorts of stuff, and some pumpkins and bits and pieces and some cooking utensils. I think my favorite thing about this little bit is because it's kind of hidden away at the back here. A lot of people don't see that when they run through this adventure, so it's kind of like a little hidden gem for this adventure. And then continuing on up, we go up and we hit another little section of cave. Going through this section of cave, we go back across the chasm, and we hit more cave, because of course the fortress is built on cave, and we find some bandit sleeping areas. So there are 3 of these dug into the wall kind of down the run here. So there's another one here, and another one further down. This one had to be smaller to fit in amongst the other 2, because the other 2 were actually quite large and overrun the back of the area that I had. So yeah, nice, just like that. And then we cross the chasm one final time and get to see the awesomeness that is the lava pit below, before making it into the bandit training area. There shouldn't be a torch there. That torch needs to disappear. There we go. So we have the bandit training area down here, which has an archery range. I really should actually update this archery range to a Lumostone one, but once again, this is a thing that I don't even know if it's going to be saved, so I will keep the island published and hope that it gets saved, hope that it works out and I actually do get to keep this. And if it does, then I'll add Lumostone to it because it's awesome. And in here we finally have a little like cage fight area out there, and then an area for wild animals in here. So the idea behind this was to kind of make it look like the bandits were fighting animals, either fighting animals against themselves or fighting animals against other bandits as either sport or to like use as training, I guess. And finally we go through and we get to the boss area. So this is where the boss would spawn down here. I never actually put a boss in because it would have been just a huge structure, and it would have taken away from the lava and the magma, which is just really cool. So yeah, there you go. This is it. This is the end now of this video, the end of this little tour of the Wastelands and the end of the alpha. So I hope you guys have enjoyed that one. I hope you guys have enjoyed SkySaga Alpha as much as I have. And I guess I will see you guys in the beta.